Hi everyone, welcome to the syllabus walkthrough for musical theater. This is for winter 2018 trimester. The 8th grade musical theater class meets on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I, of course, am your instructor, Ms. Boyd, and you can get a hold of me via email at bboyd@sacredheart.org. Remember, I'm only on campus Mondays through Thursdays, so if you email me outside of that time, I'll get back to you as soon as I get back to campus on Mondays. So what is musical theater? Well, musical theater tends to be the biggest, most commercial form of theater that we think of as an audience member. This is shows that we see on Broadway or that come touring through, and they're really big and well known because they're usually really successful. What we're going to do is look at how the musical evolved from a more standard form of theater. We'll look at that through the 20th century and into the present, and how what's going on in history and society affects what we see on stage. Now, big objectives this trimester. We're going to work on performance. So part of this is critiquing performances that we see, as well as trying to emulate some of these really famous performances and break them down. We're going to look at composition analysis, how a writer puts together a musical, and the different sets of writers that are involved in creating a single work. We'll use our critical thinking skills, collaborate and communicate, and of course, delve into a little bit of theater history. Our specific units of study, we're going to start with what the elements of a musical are. What are all of these things that go into a musical that make this form of art unique? Then we'll start back at the beginning with operettas and vaudeville, the earliest commercial forms of musicals. We'll move from there into the golden age, looking at book musicals, and then start headed towards the more modern era with concept musicals and contemporary pieces. We'll cap all of this with a research project that we'll talk a little bit more about in class. Now, in terms of grading, 40% of your grade is going to be classwork and participation. Participation grades are 10 points a day. There is a rubric that you can look at that is located in the OneNote notebook in the content library on the admin tab. That'll tell you how you can earn your 10 points a day. But basically what it boils down to is come in on time, do your work, participate to the best of your ability, and try new things. That's what's going to get you your 10 points. Classwork is going to range from some small group projects to our bell ringers when you come in every morning. You've got 3 points that you can earn for each bell ringer, and that's something that can be made up even if you are absent, unlike your participation points for a day. Now, another 40% of your grade are going to be projects. These projects might range from a group project that takes a few days to this massive final project that you'll be working on. The balance of your points come from homework. Homework might be watching a video and taking a quiz on it. It might be preparing for your final project. You should expect to have about 10 minutes of homework for each musical theater class session we have. So anticipate about 20 minutes a week. Your course expectations, you're expected to come in prepared, to be proactive, to be responsible, and to be respectful. So preparation, you will need your computer, you will need it charged. We use our OneNote for just about everything. You can keep a separate sheet for notes if you don't want to take them on your computer. Do make sure that you have it ready when you come in. Being proactive, making sure that you are actively doing what you need to do in order to get your points. Making sure you ask questions at appropriate times and that you do ask if you don't know what's going on rather than wait until you are hopelessly lost and it's the last day of the trimester. Being responsible is very much about getting your assignments in, knowing the late work policy, that you have one school day late to get things in and it's 20% off, After that, 2 days late is 40% off, and then there's no credit. If you're absent, you need to be proactive about getting the things that you missed. We'll talk in a moment about how you can catch up on things that you weren't here for. And then finally, being respectful, knowing that we're all at a different comfort level for our musical theater knowledge and performance skills. So we're supportive and respectful of everyone along the way. Now, how can you get help or catch up on things that you've missed? Well, the first thing is this thing in the middle here. Check the class OneNote notebook. You'll always find your homework as well as the bell ringers listed in there. Any papers that I hand out will have a copy, and so you can go through and see what we went through while you were gone. You can ask your classmates using Teams. So feel free to post a question there. This is particularly helpful if you want a clarification over the weekend when I won't be answering my email. Post a question and anyone in the class is welcome to answer it. And then last but not least, you can schedule some office hours with me if you want to go over a concept specifically. I do ask that you schedule it via email, especially since it's Playmakers season. I'm in rehearsals after school pretty much every day, so the majority of my times for office hours are before school or during lunch. Please contact me and we'll figure out a time that we can meet. Now, last but not least, technology is a critical piece of our class puzzle. Make sure that you come in with your tech ready to go, that you understand how to find things in the OneNote notebook, how to use Teams. If you start using your computer for something that is not class related, we'll have a chat about that, and your computer may not be allowed to be in our class anymore. So be responsible. If you have any questions about anything that I've gone over in the syllabus, there will be time at the beginning of our next class to ask those questions. Be sure you write them down, hopefully in your OneNote notebook, so that we can get those questions answered and put you on the road to success for musical theater this trimester. See you in class.